it might be better to use smaller ones, like half the size, and just double it up on the other way. First we'll square it. Okay, put that length on. Size it up a bit. Yeah, I think those are going to be like way. What I'll do is I'll, in a way, kind of measure. Seeing about how far it's overlapped here. Do the same on this side. So about 525 for the whole one. Could use the 2x4s if I wanted. I'm gonna try with the pillars and see if that looks okay. What we'll do is we'll just kind of cut that in half, sort of. Maybe use this as our mid mark, maybe. Just 75. Yay for quirkiness. Change that back to object. That's better. Probably not right centered there. Link them. A little bit. A little bit to the right, I think. Again, this is where, you know, if you're into precision, look away, because I'm just kind of eyeballing it, sort of. Probably not going to be, you know, super perfect, but you know, that gives you home character, because no home is, you know, super perfect. There's always going to be little flaws, little quirkiness. Okay. So now the process of adding in other pieces and just kind of trying to follow along with the shape that I want. Now I could lower this down a bit, I think. And let's do that. That way it's kind of like there. Doesn't quite look right, does it? Like it's not centered this way. Is it this? There we go. I'm also looking about where it's positioned in the middle of the window area here. In fact, I think I will bring that down. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move that just a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll move the roofing as well to kind of better match where it should be. That way, as I'm building down the sides, it will be as close as possible. Okay, hopefully this doesn't go. There we go. I think that's a little better as far as positions go. Okay, so here comes the fun part. I need some more pillars. Probably 1, 2. No, we'll just get. Oh, got the wrong thing, didn't I? Oh well, maybe I'll use some tables too. Yay for clicking the wrong thing. Accidental purchases. Gotta love them. The ones that hurt are when they cost renown. That kind of. Don't want to spend renown unless you go. Okay, so no, wrong thingy. Copy, paste. And so now we're just kind of that again. Copy. To object. So we move it to the side and move it down. We want to follow the angle, but we don't want it to be too sharp, I guess. Is the word I'm looking for. I'm also looking to see yeah, want to keep it so that there's no gaps here. And again, I'm not measuring, checking coordinates too much. It's a lot of just eyeballing. So I may make adjustments as I get to the bottom. I'm standing on the ones, off, as it will fit. Now I'm looking at comparison to how far in this is, how far down. And once I get this side just right, then I'll copy it and duplicate it over. Just gotta get this one right. Copy, paste. Oops. Watch what you're clicking, watch what you're clicking. Now I've seen many different kinds of decor used as a lot of it really depends on the theme of your home, you know, the style that you're going for. I've seen the tiki roofs used so that it looks like thatched roofing, which has a really nice effect. I've seen tables, like the picnic tables. They have that, they're made out of that like kind of roughed up wood, and those are good for like hobo houses or things like that. Little simple hutches or whatever. And of course, doors, walls. I've seen windows used as roof pieces, especially for like greenhouses and stuff, or if you're just wanting to simulate open areas. Hey cowboy, it's going pretty good. It's been a quiet morning. Just busy trying to put together a roof here. Keyword being trying. let's see. I may end up using just that and just kind of lower it down a bit. We might could get away with it. Hey, Pawn. Nice to see you guys again. It's been a while. You've been staying busy with your own homes, or you just been kind of hanging out? Secret screamer. Yeah, I don't get much advertising. I'm not one to. I tweet like Wednesdays when I do the housing lives, the tours, but I tend to not announce every time I go on. So if people want to catch me, they just have to, they have to be wanting to do it. I'm not going to force anybody to come stare at my stuff. Yeah, Samson, these two have been around before. They just don't come around as often as you. I suspect several of them kind of do a lot of lurking. Not everybody's chatty, which is okay. I don't mind. Oops, I think I copied the wrong one. Yeah, I meant to copy this one. Silly me. See, there's lurkers. I knew there were, but one of the things is when you're a lurker, I don't really notice if you're there because I don't keep the visitor tally or whatever it is, viewer list. I don't keep that open. So unless people talk, I have no idea. I just assume I'm talking to myself. Let's see. But yeah, like I said, that's fine. I know not everybody's wanting to get all chatty. But, I try to make sure to remind people that if they have questions, if they want to look at something that they saw me messing with and then I moved on to something else, but they wanted a second look, that's fine. I'm more than happy to accommodate. Okay, last one, I think. And then we'll take a look and see how that plays. Kind of okay. I got to remember too that these are thicker than the beam itself. So if I lower it, I need to make sure that it abuts the ceiling line here. I'll have to drop it down pretty far, which means that this actually might intrude into the doorway. So I may have to do some adjustments there anyway. I was kind of already leaning towards redoing the doors. I'm not particularly happy with that, so that won't be a problem. What I am interested in is how it will affect things in here, what all it's going to be cutting into, if anything at all. What I may end up doing is just adding an extra one on the end. Yeah, we've had some strange guests from time to time, and today was no exception. But hey, that's okay. Yeah, I think I'll add a fifth, or sixth, or whatever that is. Again, I realize doing it this way means more decor spent, but oops. At the moment, I'm okay with that. I may regret that choice later, but for now, I think it's all right. Yeah, I think that'll be a little bit better. I won't have to lower it so much. I may not have to lower it at all. We'll see. Once I remove these dummy panels. It'll be a little bit clearer about where there's any gaps. Yes. Oh, I just went all the way off. The good thing it's not a far drop, otherwise I would be dead. Okay, so there's that. And then of course, like I said, there's the trick of figuring out what I'm going to use to fill up the ends here, but I like that it's kind of overlapping the wall there, giving a little bit of shadow effect to the shadows when they play around with stuff like that. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that. I like the look of it. Now for the porch, I don't think I'm going to use them as big. I don't know. Let's see. Decisions. If I used them the same size, I don't know if that would look weird or not. Oh boy. I think I'll make them smaller. Just try it. Grab some more pillars and make sure I'm clicking on the pillars. Pile of them. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing as I did up here. I'm just going to play around with sizes here. I think that was an 80. No, 90. I'm not thinking straight. All the viewers, I'm getting camera shy and getting messed up. Hey there, welcome to the show. Not that it's really a show, it's just me farting around on my plot here. There's like little to none entertainment value. Okay, so I'm gonna size this up a bit, see about how big it is. The length of the porch here. So we'll take it to about 1.5 and see if that works. Can't see the arrow there. I guess I used the bottom one. Okay, let me come over here because obviously my camera just doesn't want to cooperate. Yeah, that looks okay. And zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in. I probably make some of my viewers sick because of the motion that I'm constantly doing. I don't mean to, it's just, I do that while I'm playing as well, just out questing and stuff. Drives my husband nuts when he's watching over my shoulder. He's like, how do you even keep track of what you're doing? It's like, well, just how I roll. Now, is that going to bother me that that's not exactly lined up with the center of that one? Seems a little odd, doesn't it? We'll come back to that. I can't get up there again. I'm making it hard on myself. Let's see. I'll make this one bigger. Be nice, children. Be nice. Oops. That one's still linked. Unlink it. Okay. Oh, well, I hope so, because you guys are making me nervous that you're doing like screen dating or something. Well, I stream when I have the opportunity to. I try to keep it every day. Of course, I don't stream on the weekends, but that's because most of the time our weekends are pretty filled up with family stuff. Um, and evenings, just again, it's mostly dinner time and movie time, and I just don't have as much opportunity as my younger counterparts that can stream 24/7. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's just it doesn't really work for me. It's like I know my Wednesday housing tours doesn't match everybody's time. Um, but if they at least watch the videos after they've been posted on the archives or on the YouTube, that's fine too. Um, let's see. I kind of lost track of what I'm doing here. Oh, I was gonna check. I kind of arbitrarily picked where the center line is here, and I probably will have to go with the center line on this and then use that for the trouble is I don't think this is a little longer on this side, so the center lines aren't going to exactly match, I don't think. So we'll see how it goes. I may get away with just pushing this over just a little bit to make it look a little better. So for now we're going to do I have an NA account? No, I don't. It's just me on the Exile side. I've heard rumored that once the free-to-play hits, that a lot of people will be getting the other side of the stream kind of accounts and stuff. If that's possible, I probably will opt not to, because as it is, it's hard enough for me to juggle what all the things that I do. Because aside from housing, I do other things. I raid with my guild. I do questing and contracts and dungeons and stuff. And having all of that aside from when I'm not online, in addition to anything else I might be involved in, I just don't have the time or the energy to start up a new account. That's why I don't even have very many alts, and the 2 alts that I do have, I don't really use them for anything other than housing. So it's probably not something I foresee in my near future. I'm not going to say it will never happen, because inevitably things change, but for the time being, it's just jab it for me. EU all the way. But okay, so now we're going to, let's go ahead and remove these. That'll be all right. I'm feeling a little brave. I'll move it going. And hopefully it looks like it comes out pretty good as far as where that meets the roofing line. A little bit of a gap there. I can sort that out later. Maybe I should do that now before I start copying everything. I'll be upset with myself if I don't. Yeah, there's just a tiny little gappage there. So what I'll do, I'm going to cross my fingers, and I'm just going to link this whole section together. I know I'm risking it all, but just to save a little bit of time. I'd like to finish up the roof before I go today, please. And the quicker I get this sorted, the better. And I blame Samson if it doesn't work right. That's all I gotta say. Samson is my go-to. Blame it on Samson if something goes wrong. And then I hear the unfollow. Let's see. Okay, I've got it on object, so fingers crossed it works okay. I think we were successful. Oh my gosh. Party time. See how the gaps go. We're good. We're good. Okay. And still, you know, there's plenty of headroom there, which, you know, what I was hoping for. And I kind of like the vaultedness. I may end up capping part of these off so that the vaulted ceiling isn't showing through the whole thing, but we'll come to that later. Right now we just want to get the roof on. Okay, so do this again. Copy. And again, I'm not really checking this too much. I'm just eyeballing it. But I'll go ahead and watch where I'm putting it so that I can just click it in for the other. So it looks like it's right at 1. That's pretty easy to remember, maybe. So we'll start here, copy, paste, and then we'll put 1. Copy, paste, 1. Paste, 1. Again, this just happens to be the roof material I've chosen. We could have used, like Samson suggested, the staircase landings. Those work well. Those work well for walls as well, not just for flooring. I've seen them used as a cabinetry for making different kind of cabinets, and I may end up using something similar in this house. Because as I said, my goal is to custom build as much of this as possible. I'm wanting to custom build not just the cabinetry, but the tables and the chairs and anything I can until I run out of space, you know, in the decor limit. And so far at the moment we're sitting just under 300, so I think it's looking good because I've got most of this structure fully built, and then it'll just be decorating and a bit of landscaping. So fingers crossed I can squeeze out as much as possible, that it still looks lived in and not too busy, but not empty feeling, but have a lot of custom built stuff. As well, again, I'm aiming to keep it to items that are easily accessible and cheap. So I'll mostly be getting, I think all the materials I've used so far are straight off of the vendor. Just to kind of give hope to new players that are just starting out, that yeah, you can build something very personal and one of a kind, but you don't have to spend an arm and a leg for it, or you don't have to wait months and months till you gather up enough cash to do it, and you do it from the get-go if you want. And if you hear some noises, that's my stomach growling. Apparently getting hungry. Because I looked at the clock and I saw it was like a little after 11, and I'm thinking, it's not far from lunch, and lunch gets in your head, and then it just all goes downhill from there. Okay, copy, Okay, I don't know what I did there. Copy the wrong thing, paste the wrong thing, or just doing what I was supposed to. Copy paste is like your bread and butter in housing. If you're going to be doing any kind of custom building, copy paste is like your main go-to. You need 2 more there, so and last one for that part of the roof. Now, if I decide to add a fireplace somewhere, where, I don't know, because really there's not like a living room in this particular home. At least was not part of my plan. But if I did, I would probably rig up something so that I would include some kind of a chimney wherever it is. And you could add different things to give that like smoky effect if you wanted to add a chimney. If you want like white smoke, you'd use the blue flare, or bluish white, I guess, smoke. Then there's the witch's brew. And it looks like a bubbling pot, and you'd have to kind of get past the noise that it makes, depending on where you're using it. But it gives off a nice smoke effect, and that would be handy if I decide to add a chimney of any sort for like the open hearth kind of thing. Okay, now to tackle the porch roof. First, I'm going to double check about positioning here. I think I'll just live with it being kind of offset because it's just a different length over here, so the center line would be, it's just different. So okay, so we're gonna see how this looks. Pillar. And just lower that a bit, I think. And then we just do the copy paste and we'll offset it just like we did here. I don't know if you can see how I was offsetting it. Basically, I just moved it to the right and see this line here and the edge here. I just kind of meshed them till they're kind of solid. It's just at the point of being kind of solid, but not overlapping in a way that they flicker. And then the way I offset it this way is, let's see. Well, I think I have these turned different. Let me check. Yeah, these are, let me just, 90. Oops. That worked out really well. I don't know, that's not the right way. 90. Let's just, we'll do it this way. There we go. Okay, so the way I was doing it before was push it over so that the two edges kind of blend, but not quite flickering. And then I brought the top edge here just above this line here. I think that's how I was doing it. Something along those lines. Let me double check. Make sure I'm saying it right. Yeah, it's like, okay, the top of this curve, just when it starts to curve, that's where the meets the line. So it just needs to come up a little. Right about there. And that's how I was judging as far as my positioning and stuff. Hey Monkey, no, the intention that I had been playing with was to build it on stilts. Instead, you know, I could opt to just elevate it by putting rocks at the base to give it like it's built on a stone of some sort. But my original plan was to put it on stilts. I was playing around with the idea of putting in water areas here. How easy that's going to be achieved on just using what I get off of the vendor, that's another story, but that was just something in my head. So it's kind of floaty right now. It could be a hover home, though. You could go with that idea and use some medical cots and get that effect going if you want. That is an idea, you know, if I decide, you know, maybe I'll just steal that idea and say, yeah, it was my bright idea all along. But yeah, the original thought was it would be on stilts. Either it's in the middle of a bog or a swamp or just out in the middle of some water for whatever reason. You know, because like I said, it's supposed to be like a one-person little getaway place where they come to get away from everybody else. So it would make sense that they would have it in a place that might not be easily accessible. You know, if we had some kind of lava effect kind of stuff, I could build it above lava or something. I don't know. Of course, lava and wood might not go well together. But that's another story. Anyway, that's how I was kind of guessing about how I wanted to tier it off for anyone else that decides they want to do similar kind of roof. That was my secret. It really isn't a secret. Just one way of checking it, because like I said, you don't have like a measuring tool to go, well, this is X meters long, and so I need to divide that in half, blah blah blah. You don't have that kind of capabilities. So. Probably one or two more, maybe. See what I mean by the flickering? Right here, if you overlap it too much, it starts doing that blinky stuff, and that's just not tracks from the appearance of your home if you have a lot of that going on. I see a lot of people building like custom, I don't know, base ports and things like that, and then you come in and all of their walls are like blink, 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 and that's just kind of annoying. Okay, I think that will work all right. It's touching the pillar at the top. So the question is this centered well enough here to make it look like it belongs? We'll copy, just move that across. And pray that it doesn't look like it's going to come down enough for these. I may have to thin these up a bit to make that look proper. Unfortunate, or I may just lower these down. That might be lower the roof so that it hits them. Because I don't really want to make them bigger, because we started when we did this originally, planning out the porch. It looked too bulky with them larger than this. So I definitely don't want to go that route. But I could just extend them or lower this a bit. We'll see when we do that. So we need some more pillars. Grab a few. Oops, wrong thing. Do that again. I've been messing with the floor so much, I guess I just automatically wanted to play with the floors again. Okay. Need to copy that one. Drag that over. Now it looks like it's going to be just enough of a gap that we'll have to put in the next room. Which is okay, I don't mind it. It's swallowed up by this one anyway. Okay, and we'll go ahead and remove the floors that we had that was just for testing position and stuff. And let's see, if I just copied, I think what that will do is cause flickering in the main body of this. So what I could do is just change the size just by a fraction and have it do like that. So that it stops the flickering, but it allows me to use the same width. So it's extra pieces just to kind of cover up that bit, but I think it's worth it to throw that in there. So we'll do the same for this one. Maybe. I don't know why it stops working like it should. It's tankery. Go ahead and push that in so you can't see the top of it. Need any issues there. And then once we extend this out all the way, we'll do the same for these. For now though, let's just copy, paste, and what is that, 917? Okay, so copy, paste, 917. Copy, paste, 917. Oh. Didn't move like I wanted it to. See? I think it does it on purpose. Just to keep me on my toes. Got one more to do on that side, I think. Wait. Yeah. Copy. need 4 more to finish off the side, I think. And then 2 for the extensions of the center pillar, so that's 6 altogether. Got 1 already, so we need 5 more. Then we'll pop them all out here. Kind of looks like a log cabin, almost. You know, someone could get creative and try and use the thorny logs or whatever. But the problem with them is it's got one end is really fat and then it tapers off to skinny ends. So maybe that won't be right, unless you doubled it up and put like one end to end off the opposite, and that made a solid shape, and then you could use it kind of like that. That would be a lot of logs though. It's like originally I thought about using 2x4s for all my walls, but when I started kind of thinking, okay, I want it this many boards high and this many boards wide, and then calculating that for all of the walls that I had, it would just, I don't think I would have had anything left to decorate. Which is why we went with the floors as we did. 917, I think, was the magic number. Yeah, I'm gonna go in about half an hour, so hopefully I can finish this up before that time is up. As it is, I have my husband vanished to the downstairs. He's watching a movie while I'm streaming. Because if he was up here with me, he would be too tempted to crash the party, so to speak. Oops. Okay, that did. But I've got, you know, housewife stuff to work on, laundry, and all that fun stuff. You know. Okay, so we're gonna copy these, change the size just a smidge so it'll quit the blinking, and then push it up. But the cap of it is going to work it. And we're going to do the same for this one. The blinky, we don't want the blinky. Alter it a little bit, just enough. Now, I know it looks a little odd here, like it's too close to the wall as opposed to what it is up here, but part of that is the spacing here. I think it's overlapped a little more than it is here. That's part of it, but I think that's okay. Coming along all right. I may do some adjustments later, but for the most part, I think it's coming along nicely. Nice covered porch, and you know, there's not going to be any glass or anything. I want to keep it kind of open there, so I'll probably, you know, have some hanging plants, a little chair and table or something. Now, this definitely going to do some work here. I don't like the look of this here and how it kind of comes into the glass. So what I will probably do is redo the borders here, probably make these pillars a little larger and bring it down some, and then just change the height of the doors to be right about in here instead of all the way up to the top. Other than that, I think looking okay. Still have the sides to tackle, which we may try and figure out that here in a moment. Because here it's even going to be trickier because it's not just this part here. I got to worry about this wall here and that wall. What I could do is just extend these up, maybe, or just add in a flat ceiling here for this section and leave the vaulted just for the room, the bedroom. That is one approach. Hey there. Not sure if that's Lon or Ion. We'll just call you DG. There we go. Easy enough. I can say that one. Okay, so what to use for the ends? I could use some of those wooden 2x4s. The only thing I'm thinking of is it doesn't really match any of the walling that or materials that I've been using so far. So maybe I can get away with using some of the triangle pieces. Let me just see what the exile triangle piece, how off that is. I have a feeling it's not going to be very pretty, because just the angle of the triangle itself is off. We'll create it though and give it a try. Yeah, the angle of my roof is not as stark as the other. Oh, don't talk about food, cowboy. I already told you I'm hungry myself. My stomach's starting to complain. And food talk is just going to make it worse. Let's see. See if I try to build it in like that, then I'm going to have bits of it sticking out here and there, and I don't think that's going to work at all. I'll keep it straight here and then try to insert it, and I'm going to have stuff sticking out the top, I think. I don't think that's going to work. Again, I may just cut that off on the side there. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Just use some more pillars straight across. And do it like that. I think that might work best. I need to size this down so I can see that better. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to try using the pillars again. I know it starts looking a little monotonous because I'm using a lot of the same materials in different ways, but I just think the wooden 2x4s will be kind of out of place because they're pretty dark. In fact, I may end up changing this staircase, the pillars as well. The only thing is, the more I add those kind of things, the more it's eating up my decor item limit there. And we have officially went over the 300 mark. Let's see. Let's try a few pillars just to kind of get an idea. I mean, if it doesn't work, then no biggie. I'll just remove it and we'll try something else. So first, we need one that is same length as the house here on the end. Again, advantage to working in straight angles and stuff is You don't have to worry about accounting for odd angles. Let's see. Let me push this better idea of the size here. Okay, so that's about good. And I'm just kind of making sure that the overlap on each end is about the same, and then I'm going to lift it up so the base of it touches the roof part here. And again, I'm kind of checking if there's like gaps. Looks good. Good. And it looks like I'm going to be able to get away with just maybe 1 or 2 on each. Just another plus. Now, question is, do I want that to be flush with that? And I think I do. So, kind of hard to see from here. Nice and fleshy. Something like so. And then what I'll do is I'll just copy, paste, and then probably as I push it up, I'll have to resize it so that, well, no, wait a minute, that's not right. See, that's the bad thing. Hold on. Push that down a bit. We don't want those showing. So it's going to overlap the bottom here just a bit, which is okay. And live with it. Question is, do I want this to be higher or lower? We'll do it like that. So let's copy that again. Change the position a bit. But again, what I was going to say is, as I lift this one up, I'm going to have to resize it so that it doesn't mess too much with that. Let's try 25. Let's see how far that gets. You might actually have to use the 3. Because while the ends are pretty knobby and big, the pillar itself is pretty narrow. And as you make it smaller, the more narrow it gets. See, that's showing through. Push that in where it's not showing at all. And we were able to, almost. I want to be here. No. Okay, so then we're going to copy that one. I'm pretty sure there's still a gap there. No. Want to fill the gap in. Pop it up. And resize. Take it down to about, maybe that'll work. Just enough, it looks like. And voila. Here we have a closed end for the roof. If you notice the camera jiggling kind of thing, that's just because I have my camera zoomed out. When I get into like low roofed, low ceilings, it kind of wigs it out and it just kind of goes, oh, it doesn't know, I guess, how to focus on something. So there's the interior, and that looks okay. I'm happy with that, thankfully. This is going to be a little trickier though. But what we'll do is we'll start off with same bits here, and then we'll go from there and see just how horrible it is. Let's see, what's going to be the best way to do this? From the outside or the end? Let's try it outside. So I need 3 pillars. I only have 2, so I need to buy at least 1 more. Try it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start with the big one. And copy, paste, and then we're just going to slide it right on over. And again, we want panels to be showing, so we're just going to push it back just till they appear. You'll see me switching it back and forth, and that's just because I'm trying to get it just to the right spot. Yes, I'm awesome at platform jumping. I'm like the worst. One of the reasons why I didn't pick Explorer is I suck at jumping. Even just little bits here, I'm like, oh, can't jump up there. Okay, so take the second one now, and hopefully we'll paste that one. And then we'll just slide it on over. Something I wasn't really watching on the other side was if those were even going up. So let me check. As the sizes go down, yeah, it looks like they're kind of gappy. Bring that up a little bit better. That's my bad, not paying attention, because as I size it down, the gap is. There, that looks. Okay. Okay, so then the final one. I've done that while I was over here. Copy. You see that? I almost sent it to Craig. Would have been bad. Not bad, horrible, just bad. Mad at myself kind of thing. Okay, if I can get the camera to operate here. Man, that's really hard to tell where the edge is. See, now if I'd known in advance where I was going to be putting this and how I was going to be putting it together, I probably would have done that before I put the roof on. But you know, I'm backwards that way. I just do it all the hard way. Maybe I can see it better here. Well, I think that will be tiered anyway because I'm getting even with the other side. That would be part of that. Yeah. Okay, so what does that leave us with? Any kind of oddballness here? Looks like just right there on the ends. So let's have a closer look from the outside. Go through there, Carrot. Daft. Orange. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that really good. There's just a little gap right here. So what I can do is, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I could add pillars there. Maybe one more will do it. Let's see. Pillar. I don't know if that's going to really kind of make it funky in there. We'll check that out after, but it's so hard to get an angle. Third one. I may not like this, but I'm just going to try it. Quick fix. Oops. Again, I noticed that there's some blinking there, and I may adjust that. In fact, I'll just try and see if I can reduce the size of that a little bit. Get it to quit. And then we'll keep it back to the big one, the other side. Again, this may look pretty gross on the interior. We will check that out now. Oops, I can't even go up the stairs proper. So sad. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Actually, like use that as a hidey hole or something. And this is, you know, meant to be for the bathtub. Why anyone would, you know, want to take a bath with the windows right there. Again, it's supposed to be, you know, secluded. There's nobody visiting, so I guess they feel like they're staying. Now, what I could do is leave that vaulted like that, or for this particular area, I could just extend this on over and repeat this part here. I'm talking about like, yeah, right up to this point. Just to kind of keep these rooms a little different than the main room, which is the bedroom. But I will see about that later. I think we'll just leave it like this for now. So as we're kind of at a good stopping point, I think we will call it a good there. I'm going to go ahead and remove this ladder for now, just so that it doesn't confuse people when they come to visit, if they come to visit. It is open to the public, by the way, on the Javit Exile side. So if any of you do happen to have access to this realm and this faction, then you're welcome to come and take a closer look. But yeah, I think that's good, a good spot. Probably starting next week, I will do some rework on the door here, and then maybe we can start looking into doing some details. I may start with the landscaping first. I'm not sure. Probably we'll start on the furniture on the interior and get as much of that done as I can before I start thinking about exterior. Because if worse comes to worse and I use most of my decor on the interior decorations and that leaves me very little on the outside, then I could just add some stilts, remove the thing, and then call it good and just leave it at that and not really worry about any decorations on the outside. If, however, I've got it pretty full of decorations on the interior and I still have a good amount to play with, then I'll probably work on adding in some kind of scenery. What kind, I'm still not decided, but we're getting there, sort of, kind of. Just going to take a little screenshot here. For my own purposes. Anyway, we'll get back to that Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, of course, will be back to housing tours. I believe it's Dominion's turn again. So we will be visiting a few of those. But in addition to that, next week is actually the voting week for my guild's CBDC, which is the Custom Built Decor Challenge that we have every month. So that means all of the entries will be in by that time. So what I will be doing is doing a live kind of showcase of the items that my guildmates and myself have built for that. For those of you that have seen my stream before, you've probably seen me working on my entry for it. Mortimer the fish, in fact, I think it was Samson that gave him his name. But I'm anxious to show off some of the other builds that my guildmates have put together. I think we've got a squid and There's a manatee, and SpongeBob SquarePants is also included, so that should be interesting to see. But that will be Wednesday at my usual time, 1 p.m. CET time. And of course, I'll be doing that after the Dominion tours. So I'll be on my Dominion alt, Melancholy, and then we'll do some tours there, and then I'll switch back over to Exile side, and I'll take you through my guildmates' plots. Now, I won't be visiting their plot per se. It's just going to be kind of going in, jumping right to where they have their CBDC entry, and then we'll be looking at that and talking about the parts that they used and all that kind of stuff. But that's Wednesday. The rest of the week, it's just kind of a hit and miss when I streams. It's kind of been yeah, someone did. I thought it was really funny because I remember you mentioning it, and someone actually did build SpongeBob, so you should get a kick out of that. Hopefully you can make it for that stream next week. But the other days through the week that I stream, it's just kind of hit and miss. It's kind of typically been earlier in the morning than my Wednesday streams, but I hate to promise that it's, I don't want to set it down on a scheduled time because too many things can kind of throw things off. Wednesday, I often have to do a lot of rescheduling for other things because I say, no, I've got my stream to do and that's that. But on the other days, I kind of leave it loosey-goosey. So if you want to be sure and catch me and you haven't already, be sure to follow the channel because that will notify you every time I go online. Even if you don't want to follow, if you don't want to make that kind of commitment, that's okay. You can check my highlights section on my profile page. It'll give you all the videos. I think I'm almost up to 50 videos now, which is kind of crazy to think about it. Of course, a lot of that is episodes broken down into like 1 hour bites so that you don't have to sit there and stare at me for so long. But they're also available on the YouTube channel. Both of those links are on my channel page. So anyway, I appreciate the views. I appreciate the comments, the suggestions, the feedback, because all of that helps me kind of narrow in on where I'm going, if I'm going in the right direction with the stream, and all of that kind of thing. As usual, I visit homes, public homes. I lose track of actually how many I go. It's probably like a dozen or more a day. I'm just hunting for really nice, creative places, and I put those on a list in the official forums. I maintain those for the Javit realms for both Exile and Dominion, and that's where I get my sources for the tours that I do on Wednesdays. Mostly it's for those people that either just don't have the time to visit them in-game while they're playing, and maybe they're at work and have a moment to catch a video and then they can see it that way. But also, more specifically, those that don't have access to our realm. So it's really reliant on if I happen to come across those homes while I'm doing my random visits. I imagine, just simply due to the way the random visitor tool works, that there's probably a lot of homes that I just haven't happened to come across. If that is the case, if you know of a home or have a home that is open to the public and you feel deserves a mention on the list or even a live tour visit, please feel free to pass that along to me, either in-game, via Twitch, via YouTube, via the forums, however you want to get a hold of me. All the information is right there on my channel page, as far as character names and all that kind of thing. So you can access me in-game, both factions. But feel free to suggest them. I'm not going to promise that they will end up on the list or that I will live tour them, but I will certainly go have a look, and I appreciate any suggestions along those lines. If there's other things that you guys would feel like you would like to watch or see more often, or at least once in a blue moon, like if you want to see expeditions being worked on or specific housing challenges, feel free to bring that up too. Of Probably as we get closer to the next drop and things become a little more active on the PTR, I will be doing sneak peeks there. But in the meantime, it's just going to be me doing these little goofy side projects and things like that. Part of the reason why I don't do Fab Kit challenges and expeditions and stuff, because I already know there's a lot of videos out there of those particular things. So I really don't feel like it's necessary, but if you just want to see me fail at them, then that's fine too. And I think you will be, Samson, as long as you get busy on filling in your decorations, because I think the base itself is coming along pretty nicely. Anyway, same goes for houses that you might suggest. My main aim is to try and only showcase those homes via my live tours that haven't had any kind of video coverage before. So there will be some homes like those that have been showcased in the Jabbit housing competitions, and those do personal videos of their own homes. Those I probably really won't be too tempted to go visit during my live tours. They're fantastic homes. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that they've already had a lot of coverage, and I'm aiming to focus on those that just don't promote themselves but have really fantastic ideas, and I want to get the word out about their places. So hey Flint, Poe, I don't know which name you want to go by now since you changed your names. Poe just sounds weird. It just brings Fat Panda to mind. So I don't know. Do you mind being thought of as a fat panda? Anywho, you just arrived when I was getting ready to leave, unfortunately. So I'm going to wrap this up, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, we'll be starting again fresh Monday sometime. And we'll get started on reworking the door and doing probably some decorations on the inside and see about working on that. So until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully the weather cooperates. It's been kind of rainy here. I don't know what it is for you guys, but hopefully it ends up looking nice, and you get to enjoy some outdoorsy times and whatever. Also, good luck to those that are also building their own projects, like Samson with his moon base and Poe with his little house on the hill. Again, my door's open, so to speak, if you want to bounce some ideas off of me, ask for some advice, offer me advice. I'm all for it. But until then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.